Hello friends, this is Mr. Vinayak Vamanrao Bembrekar, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. Today I am presenting video based on specific environmental awareness, which is the part of our international FDP, environmental and sustainability. Previously I have presented two videos, that is one is based on the environmental awareness and second one is based on the Bharat Stage emission standards. So after learning through the video, student uh, will compare the norms of petrol and diesel engine, and second outcome is that is just the amount of carbon emission due to the auto sector in India, and the third one is the point out that there are no standards for CO2 emissions limit for pollution from the vehicles. These are the Bharat stage emission standards instituted by the Government of India to regulate the output of air pollutant from the compression ignition engines and the spark ignition engine equipment, including motor vehicles. The standards and the timeline for the implementations are set by the Central Pollution Control Board under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. The standard based on European regulation were first introduced in 2000. Progressively strengthened norms have been rolled out since then. All new vehicles manufactured after the implementation of the norms have to be compiled with the regulation. So, the overview of the emission standards norms in India in 1991. So, they have invented the norms that is based on the petrol vehicle. In 1992, they have invented the norms based on the diesel engine. So, such type of different types of norms they have invented up to the century 2020. So in the 2020 they have invented the norm that is Bharat Stage 4 fuel norms from 1 April to 2000 nationwide, switching India to world's cleanest diesel and petrol. So this is the table that will give you the Bharat Stage emission standards that consist of standard references year and the region. Above standards apply to all new four-wheeled vehicles sold and registered in their respective regions. In addition, the National Auto Fuel Policy introduces certain emission requirement for interstate buses with routes originating or terminating Delhi or the other 10 cities. So this table gives the emission standard norms for the petrol engines. So that consists of the year references CO levels, SC level, SC plus NOx level, NOx. The petrol vehicle must meet an evaporative limit up to 2 G per test. So every petrol engine has to follow these norms perfectly. The next table gives the highlights related with the that is the emission standards for the diesel vehicles that consist of year references, CO standards, SC, NOx, PM standards. The test cycle have been the ACE plus EUDC for low power vehicles with maximum speed limit 290 kilometers per hour. Before 2000, emissions were measured over an Indian test cycle engine for use in light duty vehicles can be also emissions tested using an engine dynamometer. The respective emission standards are listed in table. The next information is about the CO2 emissions in India. India's auto sector counts for 18% of the total CO2 emissions in the country. Relative CO2 emissions from transport have risen rapidly in recent years, but like the uh, Europe, currently there are no standards for CO emissions limits for pollution from the vehicle. There is also no provision to make the CO2 emissions labeling mandatory. own cars in the country. A system exists in the EU to ensure that information relating to the fuel economy and CO2 emissions of new passenger cars offered for sale or lease in the community is made available to consumers to enable the consumers to make an informed choice. Next table gives the highlight related with the sustainability standards that consist of power ratings and the useful life period. According to the Bharat Stage 3 standards, machineries must be meet over the useful life period shown in the table. They have to definitely follow the above standards. So these are the references. So from where I have collected this much information and presenting the video. Thank you very much for watching this video.